This is Engine Masters presented by AMSOIL, and you know what we're gonna do this time? Absolutely burn ourselves into the ground all night long to answer your questions about what's better, that Holley 750 carburetor or Holley Terminator self-learning throttle body EFI. Today's engine is a 5.3 liter LS Chevy. It's actually an LM7, which is the type of engine you'd find in a 99 to 07 Chevy or GMC truck. This is actually a crate motor from GM that they used to sell. It's now discontinued. It was called a 327HO. It's a bone stock truck motor, but it has an LS1 camshaft in it. And they sold it with single 4-barrel intake manifolds, and that's what we're gonna be running today. You'll see us test both the Edelbrock RPM dual plane and this Victor Jr. single plane, and we'll be running it both with the carburetor, powered by MSD for the ignition controller, and then we'll be running it with Holley Terminator EFI, which is a throttle body self-learning setup, and they make a kit that plugs into all the factory sensors on the LS motor. And the carburetor that we're gonna use is the Holley 750 HP. This has got the nice radiused inlet on it, and you'll notice no choke horn. If you look at the EFI throttle body, you'll see that it's got 4 big blades and no obstructions whatsoever. You got a lot of airflow right there. Now, we go back to the carburetor and you can see that you've got boosters in the barrels. Those are in the way of airflow. Now, the reason those are there is that the carburetor works by drawing gasoline through those boosters because of a pressure drop across the venturi, whereas the fuel injection squirts the fuel in under pressure. Therefore, you can run more throttle valve area for more airflow and not have to risk problems with fuel flow that you might if you ran an oversized carburetor. So I believe that's going to be an advantage on the EFI. I think this is going to make a little bit more power than the carburetor, but we're going to find out right now.
Since it's an OEM spec motor, we'll be using an OEM grade of oil, 5W30. This is AMSOIL synthetic. It offers quite a bit more protection than your basic auto parts grade oil, so we're pretty confident it's going to do the job here.
Okay, that's exactly what I expected it to do. That pull was almost 380 pound-feet and it was 350 horsepower. Yeah. 351.7, you know, from a bone stock 325 cubic inch motor with a lame LS1 cam in it. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Kind of makes a 365 horse 327 look a little silly.
I know. It's for an average guy.
Exactly.
I will say that if you took that carburetor out of the box and put it on this motor, it's pretty well calibrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's safe, it drives.
Absolutely.
Now we get to the EFI part of the program, and I bet you all the hardcore EFI guys are groaning right now because this isn't real EFI. This is self-learning EFI. It's the Holley Terminator setup, and self-learning is a little bit of a misnomer. Actually, what these things do is they have tables built into them. You go into your handheld controller and tell them what your engine is. It starts with a base table and modifies it from there. This is a 4-barrel throttle body. It's got all of the sensors built in so that you don't have to worry about mounting a map sensor or a throttle position sensor or any of that. And it has 4 injectors built right into it, so there are no injectors in the manifold. This is the only self-learning EFI that I'm aware of that you can run completely in self-learning mode, or you can plug in a laptop and actually tweak it. People fear wiring and they don't want to deal with it. So we're going to show you everything that it takes to wire this thing, and you can decide for yourself whether it's a nightmare or not. But that's it. Okay, let's go throw this thing on that motor. So I was thinking about like guys who freak out at the fuel injection being $2,100. But if you're gonna go this way with a carburetor, like this manifold's $300, which you can use either way. This is $550, this is $500. So you've already spent more than $1,000. So then you've got $1,100 into the fuel injection. Although the other thing is that if you actually get a junkyard motor that already has all the injectors in it and the manifold and everything, Holley has a kit that's way cheaper that just plugs in that doesn't have the throttle body.
So you think it's going to be an upgrade?
I think it's going to make more power.
Yeah, but the Holley it was gold, it was nice, it was good.
Oh no.
The gold is so happy and this is so mean.
Now the wiring, which looks like that.
Do you know what to do with it?
Yeah, it's all labeled. You
Really?
can't go wrong. It's idiot proof. This tells you right here, odd ignition.
Look at that, boom.
This says coolant temperature sensor. Here's the cam sensor.
But I'm presuming that we're gonna be wanting to plug into this somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
might
there
be
you go.
bulkhead.
Yep.
Dude, I'm schooling you on this stuff.
I know. See, I told you can do it.
What's left?
Plug in the computer and power it up. So the only thing that we've changed right now from just straight out of the box is that we went into the laptop computer and reduced the coolant temperature at which this thing starts doing the self-learning deal, because we just can't get it that hot on the dyno. Other than that, this is just like what you'd have in your car. We're gonna make Dulcich a believer right now.
Wow.
Pretty impressive, right?
That was pretty good.
Everyone at home is going, you guys faked that. You already had it running.
No,
I
no.
swear we didn't. That was first turn of the key,
And
so
no,
to speak.
no pump shot or any of that stuff either.
None.
What pump shot?
Yep.
No pump shot, no choke.
I think what we need to do now is just drive it around a little bit and let it learn some stuff. What we're doing right now is looking at how the idle speed is really fast, and that might just be because it's cold, because he's got the throttle blade all the way shut. And he can't tell the difference between an inlet air temperature sensor and the IAC right now. Dulcich. Neanderthal when it comes to EFI. The issue we're having right now is that it sounds like it has a little bit of a misfire. You're educating that thing.
Yeah, so I mean, if you gave it a grade right now, what would it get? Like a...
Can I say I stayed out too late and got drunk last night? Didn't get a chance to study?
I'll always let someone say that.
Why does it run bad?
I don't know.
Man, I learned something every single time I come to the dyno and run an engine, and sometimes you just have to take it the hard way, and this morning was a fiasco. Through a lot of A/B testing and tuning and beating our heads against the wall, we just discovered it is a fuel distribution problem. We switched over to a GM single plane, and that ran perfectly. Okay, so what are our parameters? Let's see. Ease of installation. So
Check one for carburetor.
Okay, carburetor wins that. Initial fire up. I'm gonna give this a 10 and the carburetor a 9. Cold start, I'm gonna give the carburetor a 7.
We'll have to give 3 times the score value for outright horsepower. So
Okay.
the winner of that gets like 30 points.
What's our score for Chicks
Oh.
Dig It?
That's really important.
Yeah. I'm gonna say chicks don't like getting stranded or smelling like raw gas, so therefore the EFI might have an edge. My wife hates it when I spend money, so EFI is more expensive so that she wouldn't dig the EFI as much as a carburetor.
Yeah, but she would hate your junk car that doesn't run even
Oh,
more.
that's true. That's
So the
okay.
EFI would probably...
So they're both getting a 5 on Chicks Dig It?
Chicks just don't like EFI or carburetor,
That's
let's
true.
face it.
Okay.
You know.
So they both get a 5. It's a
Yeah.
draw.
That's not bad, 370. I thought
Bam!
Yeah.
Watch. Look at that. 373 horsepower, 373 pound-feet of torque, and that is an exact layover of the curve that we did off screen.
Yes.
Exactly. This is getting kind of convoluted, so let me spell out what has happened and what we're going to do. First of all, go ahead and forget everything that we did with that first intake manifold. We had some sort of weird vortex of cam mismatch with the plenum and the fuel spray pattern that made it just not run right. We've seen that every once in a while with a carburetor, but in this case, the dual plane and the EFI just didn't add up. So you saw us put a single plane manifold on the 5.3, and all of a sudden the EFI was flawless, and in fact the self-learning made a little bit more power than a custom tune-up we made while we were troubleshooting. But we need to go back and put the carburetor on our new single plane intake manifold so that we have a scientific test, A/B, of the carbon EFI on the same intake. Okay, carburetor, win, lose, or fail. I'm out of here. I think what this is going to be all about is looking at the curve compared to the self-learning EFI and getting it close, and then looking at the power numbers from there. I hate to break this to you, Dolchek.
Oh no, what?
The carburetor's losing.
I thought you would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like I may be in trouble for sure.
Here's what we have right now.
No, we're not done
Not done
yet. No.
This is what we have right now.
Okay. We're not done yet.
The EFI is the black line, and it is still winning. Okay, what did I walk in on? Because that was creeping me out.
I will get there.
Really? You insist? But wait, let's re-rank the tuning of carburetor versus EFI, because I don't remember you leaving the seat while tuning the EFI, whereas you've been actually sweating. Ooh, getting closer. Well,
It's just not there.
oh, I can see the despair.
God, I hate to even push the button.
So what we're looking at here is the carburetor is the black line, which is really the same as the EFI all the way up to 4,100 RPM, and then mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay, so we're gonna add up the scores. Carburetor, ease of installation, 9. Initial fire up, 9. Tunability, 6. Troubleshooting, 9. Cold start, 7. Throttle response, 9. Chicks dig it, 5. Wide open throttle performance, 24. Sensitivity to intake manifold, 9. Mileage, 7. Price, 10. Appearance, 8. So it scores 112 for the carburetor.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's
I know.
over 100. That's
So,
pretty hard to do.
It's true. So now EFI, ease of installation, 6. Initial fire up, 10. Tunability, 9. Troubleshooting, 5. Cold start, 10. Throttle response, 9. Chicks dig it, 5. Wide open throttle performance, 30. Sensitivity to intake manifold, 5. Mileage, 9. Price, 5. And appearance, 5. And 108 to 112. Carburetor barely edges it out.
Carburetor.
If Chicks just would have dug fuel injection a little more.
A little bit more, it would have been over the edge.
Yeah, it would have been a tie at least.
Dude, it's been a long day, but what did you do to your head?
I don't know. Tell me.
Today is Back to the Future Day, and you've got the Doc Brown thing going on big time.
Oh, not the Marty McFly.
And we sort of went back to the future with the carburetor on LS motor. By the scientific, industry-accepted analysis that we went through, I guess this thing barely edged out the EFI in your world, right?
Well, we were really thorough. Let's
true.
establish that right now.
Yeah, we did explore absolutely every nook and cranny of the situation.
Yeah, but really, when you come right down to it, I think your fuel injection did outdo the carburetor.
It did. You know, I think the pros and cons are things that we went through. This is cheaper, easier to tune, probably doesn't drive quite as well, doesn't make quite as much horsepower. It's not as modern and swanky.
Okay, I mean, we had a couple of horsepower loss with the carburetor. We also didn't achieve as good of a flat fuel curve from the bottom RPM range all the way to the top, but it was pretty good, you have to admit.
It was pretty good, but the EFI was even better. By the time we sorted out that debacle with the dual plane intake manifold.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
Oh, I know it. Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah.
But then when we put it on the single plane, you were actually out of the room. It was like magic. Thing fired right up and boom, first pull. It ran exactly on the curve that Brulio had like tuned in perfectly.
It
was really good.
Yeah, I have to concede, Freiberger, you got me again.
And I will again next time.
No.
I will. On Engine Masters, which is presented by AMSOIL. And I'll say that you can also visit us in between shows on social media. Have you got that all dialed in yet? Are you on Instagram?
I'm a king, a monster of
Really?
Instagram.
You're
Yeah,
dominating Instagram? What's your account?
Engine Masters.
That's right. And on Facebook, we're Hot Rod Engine Masters. And last thing, don't forget MotorTrendOnDemand.com. You can see us there, which is really gonna sell that, I gotta tell you. But you can also see live motorsports, movies, TV shows, and nothing but gearhead video content. Check that out MotorTrendOnDemand.com, and then come back next time for Engine Masters, presented by AMSOIL, where we're gonna give Dulcich a comb.
Oh, I bought one today. I just haven't used it.
Where are you? Ah, there you are. This one's a lot more like a periscope. Sort of has a alignment crosshair in the middle of it. This one smells much better too. Plus, I think I look better in gold than black, don't you think?